think it's very fantastic because, you see, to develop your 5G fully, it's very expensive. So government is in that. Take your time. Give us an initial requirement. Then every year as you work, you pay. What it means is that successive government will have the benefit of this 5G spectrum, the resources that are coming to develop this country. So we are not in haste to say, rake in everything today, finish it off, and leave future generation in limbo. But we've thought carefully about the future generation, the benefit we'll start getting from today. And per the analysis of industry players, if we have national coverage and we have 1 to 2% subscription of this facility we are talking about, we have 10% subscription, you are going to have about 2% growth in your GDP. Quantify the 2% growth in your GDP today to what you would have sold the 5G for on auction today. The benefit of the special purpose vehicle far outweighs the sale of the 5G spectrum today. So I think that this noise, people should be able to talk to industry players, experts. 16 countries have rolled out 5G spectrum in Africa. Check what the reportage, check the news about what Ghana has done. Everybody is looking for money, but it's not just about today. You are looking about the future. You are looking at about the investment your 5G could bring you. Should not be motivated by the highest bidder. Take the spectrum, profit-oriented, then this whole country is left off. We have built fiber optic facility in this country. We have built a rural telephony cell site to have rural connectivity. What is wrong when we partner an institution or industry players to be able to roll out 5G to every part of this country? Super brilliant, super. So but have you engaged enough? Have you engaged the NDC? Have you engaged the telecommunication industry? I mean, but who are the industries in the telecommunication industry without KNET in this country? You know what KNET stands for? Have you engaged the chamber? I'm saying that, but all of them are part of the chamber. All of them are part of the chamber. The MNOs, they are the biggest players. No, but if you do with the chamber, then you have engaged with everybody. But I'm saying that if you engage with one and say that it is not one. Telecel is a member of the chamber. 80 is a member of the chamber. KNET is a member of the chamber. Have you engaged the chamber? If you have not engaged them, how did you come by them coming on the SPV? If you have not engaged them, these are active players of the chamber. Have you engaged requisite stakeholders? And this like what? No, please. There's nothing. We don't engage in this. We engage parliament. We engage industry players. You can political parties. Please. Government policy. Once government and cabinet has taken the decision, it behoves on the sector minister to engage stakeholders as it were. That is why the presser was done. When Parliament reconvenes today, I have no doubt in my mind that the minister will be in a rush to Parliament to brief the committee and subsequently the Parliament as a whole. The members of Parliament are the representatives of the good people of this country. There's nothing wrong. Members of Parliament have been engaged. Let me read something to you. Let me put the question to you. Go ahead. So the question I want to put to you is that according to the Honourable Minister, members of Parliament have been engaged. I said when Parliament reconvenes, they will brief, because I'm aware, because I've been a member of the Communications Committee. I'm aware of these processes of rolling out a 5G. But where we are today, that's what I said, and some people misquoted me in the media. I said Parliament is on recess. The minister had not had the benefit of meeting the committee on the final conclusion. And when Parliament resumes, the minister will come and brief the committee. And that it is not a necessity to auction. Looking at the options on the table and the relevance of what the government is doing now, can I then say that NDC hasn't done enough research to be attacking the... You see, the Sly just caught himself just in time because he knew that Parliament has not been engaged. Let me read something to you. The minority in Parliament has raised serious concerns about the legality of the 5G deal awarded to Next Gen Infraco by the Kwadwo Baumia government. They argue that the transaction being finalized without the knowledge or approval of Parliament is a violation of the law. The government has previously announced plans to launch the 5G network within the next 6 months
And it goes on. And then apart says the minister, please. The Minister for Communication and Digitalization defended the decision, stating that Next Gen Infraco was specifically created to handle the 5G. She added that no other infrastructure company with the capacity to do that exists in Ghana. You see, the problem with what Sly is saying is not how beneficial it may or may not be to this country. It is that the procedure that they have used is a violation of law.
Which is?
You haven't consulted Parliament. And again, Sly said something that shocked me. He said that it is better for them to realize revenue over time than to auction the spectrum and collect money at once. When did you realize that? Should we go to a Japan? When you sought to do a Japan, did you realize that you could wait for money to come to us as a country over time? When you collateralized state revenue that was incoming over time, like ESLA, did you know that the money coming in over time was better than collecting the money at a go, blowing it on unnecessary things, and then us paying into the fund over time, basically paying into a black hole? That SML thing that they did, some of the monies that went to SML came from ESLA. So when the Sly and his group learn that taking the money over a period is better than just collateralizing funds, collateralizing revenue, blowing the revenue, doing things like a Japa. So, whatever good that he has sought to enumerate here over time, one, what the NDC is saying is that what they did was not grounded in law. And laws are not made for good people. It is okay for you to tell us that, okay, this is what we anticipated, but do the right thing. Do the right thing. If Parliament is on recess, you yourself stated that Parliament was recalled so that you were for you to be confirmed.
Let me clarify.
Hold on. When you were talking, I didn't talk. Parliament can be recalled for you to put this in front of them. But you didn't do it. You just did what you want. And now you're telling us that after Parliament reconvenes, the minister will go inform them, so you inform them after the fact. Another thing is that your prior bad acts is what makes many people uncomfortable, even if you may have goodwill, even if whatever you're trying to do is intended. And I'm talking about sole sourcing. You formed a company 1 week before you handed them the COVID testing at the airport. Right? You formed a company. Within a few days, the Buankra Inland Terminal had been handed to them. I could go on and on and on. You've done it again with the 5G. And yes, there are Ghanaian companies in there, but what is the percentage of what they really own within that whole thing? So, without the knowledge, the full knowledge of what has gone on, right? People have a right, based on what you have done in the past and your history of corruption, to question these things. Because you could easily have gone to run. You said you are the vice chairman of the communications committee. Great. You could have gone and run this by the communication committee. Everybody could have been assessed of what was going on. And then within the framework of Parliament and whatever rules you operate within there, you do whatever. So, for me, as far as I am concerned, whether what you are doing has good intentions or not, you have to admit that the process and the procedure to which you have used is not the right procedure. And that is what the minority is decrying. And then also to say, oh, there is no company in Ghana that can do that. You see, as an engineer, and I've been in this business for a long time, we have said in this country so many times that, oh, we don't have the capacity to do this, so let's go here. We don't have the capacity to do this, so let's go. Without any empirical evidence whatsoever. In the past, Ghanaian professionals, engineers, and what have you were won contracts, and they were told, if you don't have the capacity, go and source the know-how from outside. So you are the principal consultant, so to speak. Now it is the other way around. They give the contract to the foreign companies, and then they come and look for some a measure of tokenism to continue ripping and raiding this country of our resources. So Sly, what we are saying is that you should have gone through the right procedure. You cannot have a hen before an egg. What you should have done was to take it to Parliament. Agree amongst yourself in Parliament that this is the way we should go, or this is the way we shouldn't go. You don't form a special purpose vehicle, decide within 1 week to give them a contract, and then come and sit here and defend it and say that the companies have this capacity, that capacity, this capacity. That's neither here nor there. And like you yourself said, oh, the MTN won the auction, and when they won the auction, they only did 15% penetration, so that may or may not be true. The question is this: if even those who won an auction did 15%, what will happen if you simply hand it over to somebody with a promise? Your hope may be springing eternal, but at the end of the day, you simply have handed the 5G spectrum over, whatever the intentions are, to a special purpose vehicle without due parliamentary procedure. That's the problem that people are having with it. And I think my small suggestion to you is that you people should learn to do the right thing, because this is not the first time. Like I said, you did it during the COVID time. You handed over a contract to a company that was formed within what, in that case it was like 2 weeks, 17 days. They got it, and they made $87 million per their own reckoning. They made $87 million out of it within a few months. Shipped all the money outside, and the government of Ghana was left with $7 million. This is data from the Ministry of Transport. That is what Ghanaians are decrying. You people have done this too many times, and you don't seem to learn anything from it. Whatever the intentions are, please go and do the right thing. Go and do the right thing.
So you agree with Honorable Sly that from what he's explained, the intentions are good, but your frustration
maybe
is that they haven't followed the right procedure.
See, Sly says that the people follow my logic. When the 4G was auctioned, people who actually won the auction
have not done what they are supposed to do.
They are supposed to do. So what happens to those who have given it to for free?
You see, again, so, let me offer some education. Let me offer some education, because you see.
Okay, so you.
Let me offer some education.
Don't use condescending language. Don't educate me.
No, not in respect to you.
Well, there are many people in this
country. May not need education, but on this matter, on this matter,
Kojo, you see, your habit of always wanting to integrate, I can do the same thing.
Honorable,
I'm saying this. You may be more informed than I am on this topic. But when it comes to being educated on something, we have laws in this country. You don't do the wrong thing and come back and offer me education. That is what people are saying. If it is the case that what you are doing is indeed beneficial to this country, use the right procedure. Because this country, your administration came to power under the auspices of saying that things like soul sourcing, I'm quoting a Kwadwo, I think of the past. And throughout your administration, that is all you do. And people can see through it. You have just offered here a thesis about how the people who won the 4G did not utilize the space that they were given to the benefit of this country. And I'm asking you, if the people who won it by auction didn't do what they were supposed to do, what happens to the people you gave it to for free? And it is very, very logical. It is a logical argument I'm building. Kwesi, if you come and ask for my daughter's hand, and I charge you big dowry, you pay the dowry, you go and abuse my daughter. If you came and I gave it to her to you for free, wouldn't you do worse? This government is synonymous with process abuse. They are synonymous with doing the wrong thing and flouting all the things they said before they came to power.
So what would you have them to do?
They should go. They should do the right thing.
They should move away from the special purpose vehicle. They should have done auction. What exactly do
Whatever it is they wanted to do, they should have gone to run it by Parliament, first.
So your concern is that they should have gone to Parliament?
Obviously.
Okay. So
if Parliament can be recalled to approve ministers, Parliament can be recalled to ratify.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me share with my brother and for benefit of our viewers. I mean, you are misinforming the public with the role, and then you can even go back and read the minority's statement. And what is it that they are calling for? That he must come to Parliament. You see, they are not saying that the special purpose vehicle should have come to Parliament. He's not going to Parliament for approval. And he won't go to Parliament for approval. And no law has been breached. No law. And they have not even questioned the special purpose vehicle. So if you keep here and making reference to a 1 week old, your own minority, they ran away from it. When that misinformation was put in the public, carefully, when your minority crafted their statement.
I have the statement here. I can read it.
Please, I'll read the first paragraph to you. Please. You see, there is no law. Once there is no procurement, there is nothing like entity and order. So the decision is that we are not going to sell it. So that will not occasion any tender to call for competitive bidding or anything. So anybody going on that route is misinformed or want to be mischievous or ignorant about the whole fact. The minority, as it were saying that the country has been committed to more than a year. They were quoting the Public Financial Management Act, PFM Act, Section 33, 1 and 2. The PFM Act they quoted is in respect to when you commit this country, okay? When you commit this country to financial obligations, and the legal brains are listening, they are watching to all of us. When you commit this country to financial obligations for more than 1 year, in this deal, government is not committed. I granted a number of interviews and I've said that government legal advisors will respond to that particular provision of legality they've raised, as it were. But I'm saying that when the minister comes to meet the committee and brief them, it is not to say that it needs parliamentary approval, as it were.
What doesn't it?
When you come, look, the work of the ministry, the oversight.
Okay.
Look, you see that.
Please,
I'm coming. I'm coming.
Oh, can you allow me?
See,
allow me. You don't think
there's a level of consultation.
You don't think that.
You see,
you don't think that.
Yes.
The nature of this project that we are talking about, the 5G spectrum, needed a parliamentary, not necessarily approval, but consultation with Parliament before.
What? You see, there's a level of consultation. Ministers do consultations almost all the time.
Parliamentary consultation.
Yes, that is what I'm saying. The Parliament, when you come to Parliament, there are committees responsible for each sector.
Has that been done?
No, that is what I'm telling you. Even in their own letter, they are aware, we've been briefed, that there's a process to develop our 5G and it will be launched. Even the NDC, in their 2020 manifesto, page 89, 88, 89.
That I am aware.
Yes, I'm coming. I'm coming. So, what we have done, consulting, as it were, or briefing the subcommittee on communication in Parliament, does not necessarily warrant or to say that I'm coming for approval. That's the point. So I'm not saying that consultation is not good. They shouldn't even consult Parliament or inform Parliament as it were. It is not every information you take to Parliament that you are going to seek approval. That's the point I'm making. It is not everything you do that you come to brief Parliament. That means you are coming for approval. There are two different things we are talking about here. Seeking parliamentary approval and briefing Parliament. There are two things. So you shouldn't confuse the two. That the fact that you come to brief Parliament, it means you've sought parliamentary approval. When the provisions of law and statute does not support that, a particular deal must come for approval, as it were. To warrant to say that, you must recall Parliament for that. So the minister has not erred in law or in practice. Please, please, please.
I'll come back.
Please, take it easy. Look, in this telecom sector, all over the world, countries and industry players and the consumers alike are always pushing for faster, efficient, cost-effective of data. That enhances business. You use volumes of data here. Aren't you worried about the cost of your data? So what is happening today is that we are pushing for a shared platform that will go a long way to reduce the price. So the platform we have for accelerated rollout and efficiency will give us the cost efficiency we are talking about. So share the platform for industry players. So once they share the platform, again, let me come to what he said, that you auctioned it and then you couldn't enforce it. How much more when you give it for free? You see, KNet has the role they play. MNOs has the role they play. So everybody has a platform open for even competition, for you to develop the unique services you provide.
All right.
So it is not to say that...
Okay.
I'm coming. So it is not to say that you're giving it for them for free. It enhances competition. But when one person buys it, is motivated by his profit margin and business orientation. So he can decide to restrict access to you. But in this case, all the players in the industry have been given a shared platform to develop your business competitively.
All the players will make profit too.
They will make profit.
And
But I'm coming. Once today, some of them are rural focused. But when I buy and I'm not rural focused, I limit myself to the commercial areas alone.
All right.
So it should be underpinned by what your orientation is as a government.
Okay, let me
what you want to do.